So since the end of the last video, I did some farming runs, and I want to show you where everything came from. I got a few nice items, and this character is completely self-farmed. I'm not pulling stuff off other characters, so I want to account for where all my items came from. So I farmed the Telkeen a couple times, and on this run I got a Cartouche ring. I was thinking that was an Act 3 drop, but it can drop earlier. And this is really nice for this build. It's got casting speed, elemental damage. On another run, I got an Electrum charm and a ritual amulet. I also did some vendor farming, and I finally found the Hallowed Helm I was looking for. It has +1 to all skills and vitality resistance. This one only has 42%. It ranges between 40 and 60, so I may look for a better one sometime in the future. I found another Ring of Frost. This one has some lightning resistance on it. On that same vendor, I found this Puppet Master's Talisman. It has 5 energy regen per second. This is going to make a really big difference on the ice shards. And I want to thank Matthias, who suggested I look for an occult ring, which has 100% casting speed. It doesn't look like they drop yet. They might be an epic, but because of that, I found this. So here's the Cartouche ring, and I'm going to put it in place of my lesser Ring of Frost. And the Puppet Master Talisman. I am going to get the Wisp, the Storm Wisp, at some point, so that will give him some more health, but the main reason is for that energy regeneration. I have another Frost ring. I'm not going to put that in right yet until I get a relic for it, or take the other one off, one or the other. But now the Hallowed Helm. So at least now I've got some vitality resistance and +1 to skills. And I'll put a relic on that later also when I decide exactly what I want. But that's okay right now. My, let's see, energy regen is 20. So that's a big improvement. I should be able to use the shards about as much as I want. Let me just look at this other ring. Yeah, I get more out of it if I left the other ring in because of that relic. But I'll take the casting speed. At 58% casting speed and -10% energy cost is going to be a good trade-off. So let's try these out. Yeah. I mean, you can see they're still going to burn through some energy, but it's going to take longer. Had my wrong weapon in. So I'm at 21. So I get a little bit with this other setup. So I'm at 21. Alright, that's good. Let's move on. Things should start getting a lot easier. The thing is, too, the frostburn damage is over 3 seconds. So there's times when I probably am going to throw too many ice shards, where if I just hesitated, the things would die. Some things you don't want to wait 3 seconds on. There's a guy we need to talk to over here. He is.
Perhaps you can help me. For ages my ancestors have been laid to rest in a cave hidden behind the falls along the Jinghe River. I used to go there with offerings, but when I last went, spirits turned against me. They struck one of their own family.
This is a quest I forget sometimes. I go right by that cave. I also forgot to turn on my loot viewer. Just go make sure nothing dropped over here. Nothing we need. guys are still pretty tough. Still ended up having to take a energy potion, but occasionally it's okay. I don't like I have to do them after every fight. I should get some better benefit out of the inspiration part of Rally. Get another 5.2 energy regen with that, so that's going to look pretty good if I hit it now. It's better than it was. That cave is up here somewhere, and if you're not looking for it, you can walk right by this part without realizing it. I know a lot of times I'll be looking back at my quest log and realize I got an unfinished quest, and it's this one. It's either this one or the Pigman. Freeze up. So the next thing I want to get skills-wise is Colossus, and then after that I'll start working towards Storm Wisp. These guys do a lot of vitality damage with that. I got to be a little more conservative with the ice shards. I am overthrowing on a lot of things. See, those will die in one shot if I just give him a chance. He's not going to. The little ones are. See, those died from, I think it was one.
Not enough energy.
Yeah, I don't need to throw nearly as many as I have been throwing. That was a pretty big cave. So I still have the shield batter for when things get close. But mainly right now I'm going to be a ranged character. Occasionally I'll have to do some meleeing. I know some people had commented on some of the videos, you know, wondering why I wasn't tanking some things. Well, this is a ranged character, and I'm playing it as if this was a staff or a bow, more or less, and if you're using a staff or a bow, you're probably not going to stand right in front of something, even though it's also defense and it could handle it, but I'm playing it like a ranged character. Some more tigers. Drop me a saber tooth of frost and I'll be happy. Be nice, but it's not something really I need to farm for. Things like this, I will use a lot of shards. I want to get them dead fast. I'm liking this build a whole lot better now. And I knew it would get good, it was just a matter of time getting the right gear. I was starting to worry though that it was going to take till Epic before this started to come together a little better, but that one item made a big difference. I know there's a lot of stuff in Epic that'll work really well on this. The Tempest set, for instance, has a lot of cold and frost burn damage. And it's all strength-based melee type gear. Thought he was dead. Oops. Those guys can hurt you right there if you don't have some good lightning resistance. Okay, I was missing a quest here almost too. The one where you find this guy's hut broken down. When you walk into the broken part of the hut, there's 3 chests in there. The quest will update. Right here. This one you can miss too if you're not careful. And that leveled me up. Alright, let's get Colossus. Now Colossus is the type of skill that you can really benefit from with only 1 point. And more points don't really increase the benefit all that much. But I'll be at 2 because of my Hallowed Helm. But this is really good for survivability. It's good for damage too. It isn't going to do much for my ice shards. It adds 50% physical damage. So unless I get in there in melee, it's not going to make a big difference there. But it's that 32% damage absorption is what really helps. So that's going to be good to have for Typhon. Good to have for all bosses when it comes down to it. But you know, you can't use Colossus unless you put it on one of your keys. So I think I'm actually going to put it on, I'm going to move Rally over and put it here. I have the number 5 skill. I also have that attached to one of my mouse buttons, one of my thumb buttons on there, because it's hard to reach. I can reach it with my finger, but it's a little awkward. So I've been using Rally quite a bit. So I'll leave that on my thumb, and then 4 will be Colossus. So the Demon Bull's coming up. That'll be a good place to use Colossus for the first time.
Why, yes, stranger. You are now on Qiyun Mountain. But how did you come here? It is not safe. Strange beasts are all around.
I need to get some more points into this Squall also. Those Makai archers can be a big problem in Act 4. And this can take care of a lot of that problem once it's skilled up. I'm missing everything in that. If there's one mod that I would like to see somebody make, is a customizable mouse pointer. It is so easy to lose this mouse, and it blends in with a lot of things. I'd like to see it, a mod that would let you make it bigger and make it like bright red or something, or a customizable color for depending on where you are. Like red would work good here, different colors in different places or whatever. But man, it's so easy to lose. Even as many hours as I played this game, I still lose my mouse cursor all the time. And it's smaller now too. I'm running in 1440p, and that's pretty small. I know on other resolutions it's not as small, and I'm even using one of the larger interface options just so that it's easier to see on video, and that didn't increase the pointer size at all. If it did, that would be okay too, but I don't know why they didn't include that in the UI increase. So his, or these pengs that use that life reduction, which is a vitality attack, isn't going to be so bad with the vitality resistance I have now. Combine that with the less damage from beasts, and they're pretty harmless. See, they're not even putting a dent in here. So a lot of this game is just gearing up properly for each fight. Okay, so this guy here, Yaoguai, is a demon. If you have any less damage from demons, now's the time to use it. But what I don't have that, but what I do have is this Crown of the Dead. 95% bleeding resistance. I mean, I don't like to give up my Hallowed, but in this situation, for this fight, so now I'm at maximum bleeding resistance. Now, he does a lot of fire attacks, which are pretty obvious when he does his fire attacks, but he also has a bleeding damage attack, and it's his strongest attack. It does have one-hit kill power if you're like a mage or a lower hit point class. It's hard to spot it. If he does it, I'll point it out. It's kind of like when he starts bucking around like a rodeo bull. So let's go get him. Matter of fact, why don't I put up my Colossus? I forgot already. Now, it won't do a lot of damage because of all the bleeding resistance I have. So it might be hard to see. Little peons out here. See, right now, he might have been trying to do it. So that Colossus is really nice for the bosses. And there was really no reason to stand in front of him. I could have took him down with the ice shards on the run. I just wanted to use the Colossus there. I want to switch my helm back out before I forget about it. But that's, you got to carry situational items. It's hard to have a set, an armor setup that can handle every situation. It's just like near impossible to have all your resistances maxed out and have good armor at the same time, and it just isn't going to happen. Or at least I haven't seen it. So I'd like to carry at least a few situational pieces I can swap out, for a particular boss or a particular area of the game.
Worthy traveler, welcome to the Jade Palace. I have been here without company for many years, and would enjoy the delight of a conversation with you on matters of philosophy. But sadly, we have no time for this, as a shadow has swept across the land. You have slain 2 Terkin already. Quite an accomplishment. But stopping the third will be far more difficult. If you do not stop him, he will surely free Typhon. Our existence is threatened. The gods won their war with the Titans only to surprise and deceit. However, their tricks will not work a second time. The gods banished all the Titans except one. In their hubris, they imprisoned the one they hated the most, Typhon, under a mountain. He was eternally chained to that which he wanted to rule, but could never possess. Now, the gods' hubris may be their downfall. Typhon is imprisoned on the Wushao mountain, not far from Chang'an. If you hurry, you may be able to stop the Terkin from freeing his master. Take the passage below my chamber. The challenges ahead of you are more treacherous than those faced by any mortal. The future of humanity rests on your shoulders. May your skill and wisdom be armor against the challenges you face.
I got a Captain Signet as a reward. I already had one of those. But I'll tell you what's nice. These stack. So if you're trying to make like some kind of a, a specialty or some kind of a custom build, so at this point I'd be minus 50% if you wore both of these for your strength, for your weapons, armors, and shields. So you could be running a intelligence-based caster. With these rings you could wear some strength armor, some heavy armor with it. So it kind of gives you some other options. So anyway, I'm going to break this off here. I think it's It's been 25 minutes or so. I kind of lost track. But I'm going to end this here. We'll pick it right back up, and we'll head back into Chang'an. Okay, we'll see you in the next episode. 42, I believe.